Hello, my creative friends. I found this new sketch challenge site completely by accident today. I was just on so many different blogs. I can't even remember where I hopped from to find it, but it's Case This Sketch. This is just a little holder I have. When I'm working on sketches or color challenges, I'll usually print out what I'm working on and then I stick it in one of these holders and have it right in front of me so I can easily see what I'm doing. I'm going to use the This and That Epic Day Designer Series paper from Stampin' Up! And I'm going to punch out my hexagons. But if you wanted to just stamp them, Stampin' Up! Has a 6-sided sampler stamp set. Lots of different designs. This is a really fun one. To use the punch, you just push it open and it opens up. You slide the paper in. I'll do it sideways so you can kind of really see. You just slide it in and you can see exactly where you're punching. And then you're going to squeeze it together and it punches out. So I'm just going to punch out a bunch of hexagon shapes and see what I come up with next. One of the patterns on here actually has hexagons. You can just punch out the hexagons that are already on that back side there. So now I have a bunch of hexagons, way more than I need, but it will give me a great color selection. I'm just going to slip that over to the side and pull out my card base. I'm doing a tent fold, so what that means is it'll just stand up like that. I took a piece of 8.5 by 11 white cardstock and cut it in half on the long way. So I cut it at 4¼ inches. So this piece is 4¼ by 11. It's scored at 5.5, folded in half. I'm just playing around with different color combinations. This may change. It will change before I'm done. But I also wanted to see where exactly I'm going to stamp my greeting. The sentiment I'm using is from the For You stamp set. I'm going to use Hello. To get it lined up, I'm going to use my Stamp-A-Majig. The Stamp-A-Majig comes with a handle like this. The Stampin' Up! One is black. And an imaging sheet. It's just a clear sheet. You can also cut a piece of vellum and use vellum, so if you lose your sheet. And this imaging sheet just nestles right in the crook of your Stamp-A-Majig. It's just a placeholder to show where you're going to stamp. And it might still be too faint for you to see on the camera. But there it is. And this shows you can place this wherever you want on your card, and when you line it up with your Stamp-A-Majig, it's going to stamp it perfectly every time. Once you have the image where you want it, you just bring your Stamp-A-Majig back in and you nestle in. So this is nestled right in where I want it, I think. You take the imaging sheet away and you ink up your stamp again and nestle this in and go straight down. And straight up. The imaging sheet cleans up really easily with just a baby wipe. And it's ready to go for your next stamping project. I'm going to add a little bit more to the background with the gorgeous grunge stamp set. I love this splatter. It just adds a little bit extra to the cards I've been using it on. But you can see it comes with several different patterns you can choose from. I brought in this foam pad for a little more even stamping. I've got a hump in my table here where the two tabletops meet. So this really helps with that, and I don't really want to get ink on this. Probably wouldn't hurt it, but I'm just going to bring in the paper I've been using as a sample. And this is basic gray, and what I'm stamping in is smoky slate, so it's just a little bit lighter. And I kind of just want a little bit peeking out behind those. I might decide to add a little bit more. Let me just see what this looks like. I'm using the two-way glue pen to glue these down. You could adhere it any number of ways. I just am trying to make sure that I kind of have the same amount of space in between each of these hexagons. I decided I wanted a little more splatter, so I just added a little bit more splatter to the bottom. And I might come back in and with my Stamp-A-Majig again and do some black StazOn ink over here and make this kind of a shadow, because I really want that sentiment to pop, and it's not popping as much as I would like. But this is basically the card. Thank you, Case This Sketch. You've been added to my favorites list, and I'm sure I'll be casing you more often, copying and sharing everything. I hope that you enjoyed this video today. I hope you find some time today to get a little bit creative. Thank you for joining me. Bye.